It's finally here. I have the sticker breakdown for the first 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonale Veloce, the first dealership model on sale, and it is here today. And we need to talk about this because the pricing may surprise you. What's good, guys? Welcome back to Ron's Rise. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another video where we are finally here with the production dealership model of the 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonale Veloce. Yes, 2024. Here in the United States, we had to wait a year and a half after Europe got their models to have this 2024, but I'll let you know why in just a moment. Now, with that said, it's a windy day here in Florida, so hopefully the audio isn't too bad, but I'm at Maserati Alfa Romeo of Daytona Beach, and they got a couple of these things in. So I'm gonna try to get as many on the channel as possible, but they only have one Veloce, which is the top trim, and I wanted to get this here for you guys today. So let's keep in mind that I've already gotten the TI on the channel, but it was a demo model, so we didn't have a pricing breakdown. This time we have an actual sticker, so you will see the prices of the options, you will see the warranty information, all that stuff in this video today. Now, if you guys want to check out that TI that was done in Verde Fangio, definitely check that out as well, so you guys can get a hint of what the luxury model looks like. We're at the top trim level sport model because we have a Sprint entry level, TI luxury model, which we did, and now the Veloce top level trim. So here we are today, and we're gonna go through this thing and see what it's all about. Let's get to it. Now, first things first, why now? Why did the Tonale just now come here to the United States? Well, we had to change the platform a bit, and it is called the CUS wide platform. All right, so you're probably not used to that, but before it came here to the States, US regulations said no, we needed a couple adjustments, so Alfa Romeo USA had to do their thing and change it a little bit. Now, you guys know the CMP and EMP platform is for Peugeot, Citroën DS only, and then you have the Fiat 600 and Jeep Avenger. For the US, it's a little different, and we're getting this platform, so here we are with the CUS wide. Now, what comes with the CUS wide? Well, there's a couple dimensions that we probably should talk about because of the fact that this is different. It's not the Giorgio platform that you guys are used to. So, I mean, things are going to be different when it comes to, you know, the wheelbase and, you know, the trunk capacity, all that good stuff. So let's talk about it, because the length is 178.3 inches or 4,528 millimeters. You have a height of 63.2 inches, 1,601 millimeters, a width with the mirrors at 82 inches, 2,082 millimeters, and a wheelbase of 103.8 inches, that is 2,636 millimeters. Now you have a front overhang at 37.4 inches, which is 951 millimeters, and you have a rear overhang at 37 inches, 941 millimeters, with a ground clearance of 5.6 inches, 141 millimeters. For your Brembo brakes at the front, you're looking at 13.53 inches, 345 millimeters, and in the rear, you're looking at 12.8 inches, 305 millimeters. For the suspension, we have McPherson struts, and we have a 14:8:1 turning ratio with a turn to lock at 250 and a turning circle of 37.86 feet. Now your curb weight is 4,133 pounds, 1,875 kilograms, with your payload, including the driver, at 1,197 pounds, 543 kilograms, and a towing capacity of 2,000 pounds, which is 907 kilograms. Now, this is the first ever plug-in hybrid for the Alfa Romeo brand. Yes, the first electric Alfa Romeo ever, and here in the United States, we only get the plug-in hybrid variants. So what does that mean for us? Well, this is an all-wheel drive, and it is a 6-speed for the transmission. What does that give you? Well, you get 285 horsepower and 347 pound-feet, 470 newton meters of torque. So that's going to give you a 0 to 60 in just under 6 seconds with a top speed of 125 miles per hour out of the 1.3 liter 4-cylinder turbo PHEV. Now that's going to have around 320 miles of range when it comes to fuel economy, and remember that you get 30 miles of fully electric range with the plug-in hybrid. I'll show you the gas door or fuel door and the electric door as well, because there are two doors on different sides. You're probably going to get confused right away off the bat for that, and then I'll show you the plug for the actual plug-in hybrid setup. Now when it comes to the exhaust, well, the TI didn't really have much of an exhaust. Since we actually have pipes this time, let's see what kind of sound we can get from the new Tonale Veloce PHEV. Now keep in mind, your EV door is on the driver's side of the Tonale, and as you guys can see, it shows you right there that this is where the battery will be charging. All right, so you guys get the graphic there on how it works, and it does say refer to that right there, where the car can be locked and then plugged in. Now you can see that is our cover, and on this side is our battery meter, which is actually in plastic because this hasn't been fully detailed yet, but you can see that there as well. The cover just pulls off just like that. So when it comes to the electric power of the Tonale and the battery and everything, we kind of talked about what we have, but we do want to break this down as a battery, and that is a 50.5 kilowatt lithium ion nickel manganese cobalt graphite battery, and you're looking at a total voltage of 306. Now you also have a battery weight of 276 pounds, so that's what it adds to the total curb weight of this vehicle. Now keeping that same energy, I want to show you guys the electric charger here that you're going to use for your Alfa Romeo Tonale that comes with it. Now this is different for a lot of vehicles depending on the EPA range, but for here in America, you're looking at around 30 to 35 miles for this battery. So on a level 1 charger, which is normally 120 volts, something that you will plug in at your home, a regular socket charger that you will plug this cable into, 3-prong, okay, that's normally around 120 volts at home. For that, if you take it home at night and you plug it in, you'll probably get 5 miles per 1 hour of charging. So do the math. If you can only charge this up to around 35 miles, well, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, that's about 7 hours to charge the battery completely full for that 35 miles of range. But if you're on the go and you want to use a public charger, well, the public chargers that could be at the mall or at the gas stations or anything like that, they're normally level 2 240 volt chargers for these kind of cars, not Teslas. We're excluding Teslas. So with that, you get about 14 miles per 1 hour of charging, so it would take you around 3 hours to charge 100%. So that's just letting you know what you're looking at when charging your Tonale. Since you're not, working with a full EV, it's a lot quicker, and really that's pretty reasonable for what you get here with the 35 miles on the battery. Now I'm going to show you guys something that's very important. Now I know we're used to just opening our fuel door, and oh, by the way, the fuel door is on the passenger side because we know that the plug-in side for the electrification is on the driver's side. This is the fuel door, 2 doors. We're used to just walking up to our Alphas and pressing this and opening it. No longer can you do that. Now, the car is on currently, so to let you know, you can't open the fuel door when the car is on. So that's the fuel door switch right there. Okay, I press it, nothing happens. And the reason why I know nothing happens is because I'm going to press it again for you guys. Okay, you see the fuel door? Pressing it in, and it doesn't show anything here, okay? Now, you're wondering, how do I know that the fuel door is not open yet? Because, watch this. We'll power down. Okay? Now I'm going to press that same fuel door button right here, and watch this. Fuel door will open when ready. It's yellow. Now it's green, and the fuel door is open, and I heard it unlock. You cannot open that fuel door unless the car is off and you press that button. That's it. So now you see the fuel doors popped open. So that's going to be something that might frustrate people right away. I might have to do a how-to Alfa Romeo Tonale video, a separate video on this to show that. Now also keep in mind, this is just unleaded fuel. I don't think you no longer need premium to run your Alfa Romeos in the best way possible. It doesn't say any label like that. It just says unleaded fuel, which in the United States would normally be 87, but state to state may vary on the type of fuel. But it's just regular unleaded fuel in this 11.2 gallon gas tank. So with that said, that might be it, guys. You might not be able to put premium. Well, you can put premium in there, but you might not need to. I mean, premium, it wouldn't give you any kind of long-lasting, perks and effects. But if you want to save a little money at the pump, you have that, and you have 30 miles of electric range, which I believe gives you 77 miles per gallon when it comes to electric range and the fuel consumption. I'll definitely double check that on the sticker breakdown. But yeah, that's a couple things we need to know for the Tonale. Now, if we're not using our key fob to get in, well, we got to go all the way down here to get into the trunk or boot space of the Tonale. So what are we looking at here? Well, with the seats up, as you guys can see, we have them in a 60-40 split with a center feed through. You're looking at a trunk space of 22.9 cubic feet, 648 liters. But if those seats are down, then you're up to 50.5 cubic feet, 1,430 liters. Tons of space down here. Now you also have the privacy shade up top there. You also have our charger, which is in this beautiful bag here. It says Alfa Romeo on it. Very nice touch, but we've already kind of looked at the charger there, but that's it. Our floor mats there as well. And then underneath this is a little different from the Stelvio being on the Giorgio platform. So the underneath is this big false floor that you kind of hold up here until, whoops, sorry, I messed it up, until it clicks on these little side, like handles or flares or whatever you want to call them to help catch it. So then you can do this hands-free. Really nice, right? Tire inflate kit on that side, screwdriver. Over here, I think we have our tow hook, and then our front plate, just in case we need to mount a front plate. And under this false floor, we just have a little bit of space, but nothing too crazy when it comes to actual storage underneath here. But in the actual trunk itself, and then I can just push that down right there. And what hasn't changed in typical Alfa Romeo fashion is the closing and lock button. So you have close and you have close and lock. We're just gonna close it today. Same chirp that we're used to for sound, and then that's it. So the overall aesthetics of the new Tonale, I mean, we're looking at the sporty Veloce specs, so it adds a lot of black accents, which look really cool on this model. So up front, first thing you see is the Trilobo and Scudetto done in this 3D effect, all right, all done in black with the insignia right up front and extra feed through for the grille. Extra feed throughs for the side grills here. Then you have the lower fascia with the feed throughs for the grill as well for cooling, and then the black lip, the radar sensor there. It all looks good together with the slats on the side and the new tri-LED headlamps as well. We will see those illuminated in just a moment, but again, it looks really good when you put it all together, and it gives you that new Alfa Romeo DNA that's going to be implemented in models in the future. I really love the way they did it. Now you can see it against this beautiful Bianco paint, which is white and Italian, and it's a gloss white. Now the side profile is where we get busy for the Veloce. A lot of new things here, like these 20-inch Grigio 5-hole wheels. These are an option, and I'll break down that option price because it's a pretty big one, but it does not come standard. Now you also have red calipers, white script, Brembo brakes, and monochrome center cap, wrapped in these beautiful Michelin Pilot Sport Force all-season tires. This is a good tire to have on this car. Now, the body kit is Vesuvio gray. I know it looks black, I promise you. That front lip, the wheel arches, side skirts, and the back bumper, well, at least it looks Vesuvio gray, because it doesn't look like it exactly matches the mirror caps with the Italian flag and gloss black look. So maybe it's the same, maybe it's not. You guys will have to decide. Maybe Alfa Romeo USA will comment. Veloce badge lets you know what trim level we're dealing with. The top trim for the 2024 model year. Gloss black window moldings, and this is tinted out. Alfa Romeo USA did not tint this. Alfa Romeo of Daytona Beach did, so it comes already tinted out from the dealership. Now at the top, you will see the black shark fin antenna, the roof rails here done in black, and the big sunroof. Not a panel roof, but sunroof. Pretty good size, but that's as big as we're getting. Plastic side skirt here. I don't want to say it's a Vesuvio gray. I'm not sure exactly. It might be to match, but there's a shiny metallic flake to the actual side skirt versus this piece here. So you guys can kind of see the difference to where there's a reflection here, but there is not one here. So again, Still trying to figure out the trims and the body panels and how everything works. But for the side profile, what do you guys think about the Tonale? How did Alfa Romeo do on the design? Now the rear has to be one of my favorites because we get these exhaust tips. We were afraid at first, but we didn't see the exhaust tips on the European models, but until you get the Veloce model, then you can get the exhaust tips, dual exhaust here. Now you also have that Vesuvio gray, I think Vesuvio gray body kit in the back where you see that color, and then that plastic piece that's on the side skirt is also on the rear diffuser. All right, so again, you see how this is shiny, this is not. All right, so again, still figuring out all of the body colors and panelings, but I think that's what it is. Go up and we see the Tonale badging in the script and the Alfa Romeo insignia right there as well, with the big LED light bar, which we will see illuminated in just a moment here. And it goes up with the black shark fin kind of look on the sides, and then the third brake light right there as well underneath with the wiper blade. And then you kind of put all that together, and yeah, I think it looks really good in the rear. Like I said, the rear is almost my favorite. I'm gonna probably pick the front because it has the most aggression to it, but the rear, well, it buttons up very nicely. Now I normally save this part for last, but I want to show these off, especially while the sun is behind a cloud, to show off the illumination of the new LED lights. And you can see the LED headlamp there with the switchback turn signals from amber to bright white. Now you'll also see in the mirror cap here, right by the Italian flag, is the amber turn signal, which is really cool. And then, let's hope that cloud still stays behind. All right, then we have the LED light bar there as well, with the turn signals on each end. Now I'm gonna have to do a full video of a nighttime look at how all of this looks illuminated, because we also have to see the new ambient lighting in the interior all illuminated at night as well. So we're gonna have to do that too for you guys. Now if you guys haven't already, make sure you give the video a big thumbs up. When you give the video a like, it helps grow the channel and I get more opportunities to get more beautiful cars like this 2024 Veloce behind me here today. Now inside the Tonale, before we even kind of venture in, you guys can see that we have a Nero interior, all blacked out. All right, so with that said, you're gonna see a lot of familiar design language from Alfa Romeo's DNA. You're going to be very familiar with a lot of how the buttons work. The buttons might be in different places for some things, but as far as form and function, you're going to be very familiar if you know Alfa Romeo vehicles. First things first, Alfa Romeo aluminum side sill, gotta represent. You have aluminum pedals down there as well. Not the dead pedal, but the brake and gas pedal. And then the seats. We have a couple of firsts today, and one of the firsts is not only are these seats heated, but they are ventilated. Thank God, Alfa, because it is hot in Florida. Now I can cool off my buns and make it feel like Siberia when I'm inside of these cars, because we only used to have heated seats. Now we have ventilated seats as well. And you can see the Alfa Romeo insignia stitched there. Looks really nice when it's stitched in versus embossed. I really like that. The leather is really nicely and perforated, and just a nice design there as well. And then letting in a lot of that natural light is that sunroof. Now let's step inside, because again, there's a lot of firsts today. One of the firsts is going to be starting your Alfa Romeo silently. That's it. The car started. I used the start stop button here and it started on full electric mode. That's something we're gonna have to get used to. You're used to firing up your car and hearing that exhaust and engine flutter and everything like that. We started on EV. You'll feel it when the engine does need to kick in, but this does have regenerative braking that will help feed that battery when you're driving the car, just in case you're on E. I think right now we have, it says 6 miles of battery. Now another way to tell we have EV here is our DNA drive modes: dynamic, natural, advanced efficiency, and EV. So currently we started in natural mode, but we started with the EV battery. So again, there's a lot of learning curves here when it comes to how the car actually works. But how to function it and getting it going and everything like that, a lot of that is the same. We still have the same flat bottom leather steering wheel that we're used to. The same buttons here, all right? Your driver assistance buttons on the left, all right? Your menu buttons on the right with radio controls as well. You still have the same airbag here, start stop buttons in the same place, perforations in the same place for the leather, and this is a heated steering wheel, all right? And then the power shifters are in the same place, and they are mounted to the column like the same place that they always are. This is nothing new. Our lane keep assist is on this side with our lighting controls there, and our windshield wipers on the right hand side. A lot of the same things. Now our telescoping steering wheel is a little different, so you can see this big piece here. That is how you're going to go up and down and move this forward, all that stuff. And it's a little temperamental, but then once you get it locked in, hopefully you don't need to change it. But you do have memories for your seats and everything here. Right there on the door paneling, as you guys can see, 3 settings. Mom, dad, and sibling, or not sibling, mom, dad, or child, anybody who's driving this. It's nice to have 3 and not just 2. Lock button, unlock button, aluminum door handle, same exact door handle we're used to. This aluminum kind of trim going across the bezel here. Soft touch plastics, all right. And then we have what is taped over because this car was just tinted. They do not want us to roll down the front windows because it was just tinted for a couple of days. So this is the window controls, window lock, mirror adjustments here, and your Harman Kardon sound system. We know that very well, but it's got a nice aluminum around the aluminum grill there. So the speaker grill is there like normal, but it has an aluminum surround around it, giving it a 3D look like the front of the car with the Trellobo and Scudetto up front. Then you also have another speaker right here as well at the bottom, a little stowage down there as well, and that pretty much sums up your door paneling. No, before we close that, let's go on this side. We do have, well, our hood release under here. We also have our lighting controls here, our digital speedo lighting here as well, the way we open our trunk, and our gas door release right there. Turbine vent that we're used to here, but it's a lot bigger here in the Tonale, and it's got this big, even more jet looking, like airplane look venting. That's why we call it like the turbine vents. And then right here, this is for ambient lighting. This is one of your signature styling pieces that you'll see throughout the rest of the car. So once we get that ambient lighting all lit up, we'll see that. Now, before we get there, let's come over to something we are familiar with, but not in an Alfa Romeo. So we know about Uconnect 5, right? This is a 10.25 inch screen, which is Uconnect 5, which is Stellantis's, or FCA's, whoever you want to call it, their infotainment system that's been out since 2021. We've had these in Maseratis since 2021. Other Alfa Romeo models have never gotten this. They had their own in-house system until today. So this is a touchscreen. It is an assistant, Google Alexa. You can do Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wireless. You can do your ventilation and controlling here. I mean, media, navigation, your comfort, your phone, all of this stuff is controlled through this system, which is so intuitive. It's really nice, guys. It's one of those things to where they can't really improve much on this, but the speed. It's not slow, and it's miles above what Alfa Romeo has ever had. But, obviously there is a small delay. But this thing does it all. It gives you all kinds of information, and the fact that it's a touch screen, obviously you win points there because there's no actual dial to control it. You have to actually touch everything and get to it. So again, just for showing you guys, I can go up to here and change the display, my profile, voice, camera, everything like that. Lights, this is a big one here because interior ambient lighting, we can do that. Now you can change the colors and everything here as well between blue, green, white, yellow, and red, and you can see where it lights up. Now, unfortunately, we can't see it right now, which is again why I'm going to actually do this at nighttime to let you see all that. But yeah, this is where everything is at where you need it to be. And again, Alfa did a good job with integrating their system and a Tonale, hybrid and everything into it, so you can see exactly how everything works and how it's supposed to be. So I really love this system. Again, if you guys haven't seen my first video, I definitely did a deep dive into this. I did want to add to this too for e-save mode, because I kind of got, I want to say, a little confused the first time around because I'm new to all this stuff. But e-save mode can either charge your battery up to 80%, and eventually it takes a long time, or it can hold charge at a certain level that you define, 40, 60, or 80%, typically for later use, which is why you see all of this here. So again, I was kind of confused on how e-save worked. And e-save, if you need to know, the button is right here next to the left of the Italian flag. So it's just one of the many things that this has in it. I mean, NFT technology, it's so intuitive. This is going to be a little bit of a learning curve if anybody hasn't driven any FCA vehicles or Stellantis vehicles since 2021. So many new Alfa Romeo drivers, coming from an old Alfa Romeo, might struggle with that a little bit, but it's not too bad. I'll say it that way. HVAC controls, physical controls here. All right, so we do have some physical controls. Wireless charging pad right here, and underneath USB 2.0 and USB-C. You have a 12-volt there as well, and our DNA drive mode. But another first for today is holding this to the right and traction control going off. Yes, we have a dedicated traction control off button in an Alfa Romeo. Go figure. Now, I don't know if you guys heard, but when I went into dynamic mode, which is our most throttle response in our most hardcore driving mode, the engine kicked in. You're not driving down electric mode. So the engine kicked in right away, and you can see the dampers. You can go from soft to regular with using this button here. So the dampers kicked in, and that's only for the Veloce, not for the TI or Sprint, which the Sprint will be coming later on this year. So now we're in natural mode. You can see that we also have automatically those dampers on, but in the regular, and then advanced efficiency, that's full EV mode, and that changes and turns off your engine. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but try to listen for it. Let's see if you guys can hear it. You hear the engine kick in? It didn't when I went to natural mode, so probably because I went from out of electric to natural. All right, so leather boot, our gear selector, 6-speed, 2-track still, so we can do manual shifting here or the paddle shifters. Then go up to neutral. If I go in reverse, here's another nice new Alfa Romeo thing. Yes, finally, a good backup camera, 360 view as well. Check that out, guys. You guys are gonna appreciate that. Yeah, that's gonna be a big one. Now we can see when we back up, because look at that. That's all we got. That's all we got. So that camera is very important because the visibility here is not that great. So you're definitely going to want that. And then we're in the park. We have our volume controls for the radio. If I want to turn it up and down, I can pause it by pressing it in. Our electronic parking brake here. Parking sensors we can turn off. We already talked about e-save mode. We have a couple of cup holders here as well. And then the smallest glove box you'll ever see besides in the MC20 right here. So yeah, that's about it for that. All right, so let's talk about this. This is our new 12.3 inch digital speedo. Now to get that full view, I'm going to put my foot on the brake so you guys can see that, because if I take my foot off the brake, you'll see that. Okay, so foot on the brake. Now we have our full view. A lot of information here. You can see that we do have the Serpent with the plugs right there in the mouth of it. It's really cool because it's a plug-in hybrid, and you have that on both sides, obviously. Now you can see your RPMs on this side. All right, on this side you will see obviously your speed, and you can also see at the bottom there your fuel. Now at the very bottom next to that, you can see the DNA drive modes. And again, since we're in regular dynamic, well, now I put it in natural, you can see the EV part pop up. If you notice when I put it in dynamic too, look at the speedo and how it changed. Natural, advanced efficiency. So you guys can see it change in real time. Now you can also change with this button here the different layouts, and there's 3 different ones. So you can see the 3 different cluster layouts when it comes to the actual look of what we have here. So really customizable when it comes to that. We can also customize everything in the center as well. So to customize the menus in the center, we're going to press this here, and then we're going to press the arrows right next to it to change all of that as well. So right here, I can change my pages to stored messages, driver assistance systems, the performance page, navigation. Look at that, full thing is in navigation mode. All right, we can see that our speedometer is there. We can also do hybrid info, and we can do our charge and power. Really cool to do all that. Again, very customizable when it comes to the speedo here, and this is the first for Alfa Romeo to have this fully electrified speedo. Now you also see things like our temperature here, which is 38 degrees Celsius. That is in Celsius. I'm not exactly sure what that is in Fahrenheit. You guys can translate it. It's just hot. It's Florida. We were at like 102 index the other day. Our miles not miles, our traffic sign, which again might be in kilometers, not exactly sure, our lighting controls, and everything as far as our time and everything on that side there. So I probably darkened it up by putting my finger there, but you guys can see it. I'm just showing it all off to you. Range, fuel, battery, all that cool stuff. It's really cool and intuitive, and again, we're gonna have to do a full breakdown video on how all of this stuff works because it's a lot. Up top we have our head unit here that shows off, where we can show our SOS button, our dome light, puddle lights. We can open up the sunroof and the trunk, and you also see the home link right up there for your garage door openers as well. You got that soft touch up top going all the way across. Again, that nice aluminum backlit, which we'll see with the ambient lighting turned on, and then nice stitching and leather going across over the infotainment and glove box here. And then the glove box open up like usual. Let's see if we can get it to focus in. There we go. So you can see what kind of space we got, which is quite a decent amount of space when it comes to the glove box. And then basically that's it for your styling. No extra thigh support for the seats. It's not meant to be like the Stelvio with that. And other than that, I think everything else I've covered. If I haven't though, make sure you guys check it out. But we're gonna have to make a couple dedicated videos on these cars to show them off completely. Now before we get into the rear of the Tonale, look at the Serpent again with the plug in its mouth. Really cool to see on the C kind of quarter panel there. All right, and then inside is what you're used to from Alfa Romeo. So you got the big perforated leather seats, and you can see done in Nero again, and no stitching on the headrest for these here. If I hop inside, I was sitting very comfortably up front, and you can see that I have room in the back with my knees, and I'm 5'11", 6 foot on a good day. I got storage pouch here as well. In the center, I do have my HVAC vents, which look kind of boring, but they're there. And then we have our USB-C and USB 2.0 plug-in right there for charging. Now, if I were to close the door, you will see that we do have a cover. More ASMR there for you guys. Over our aluminum door handle there, the aluminum trim going around it, and the same kind of materials for the door, and one speaker down here with another speaker right there in the door. And then if I were to come over here, I have a seatbelt strap, but let's take that off. For this big armrest, massive armrest here, guys, you can see, you definitely have an armrest for 2 people. And then you have cup holders there as well with the center feed through. All right, so tons of space, dome lights up top, you guys can see that. And then you have kind of access to the back over the privacy shade if you needed to drop anything back that way. But yeah, it's a pretty good place to be. It's nothing too special, but it's comfortable and has the creature comfort, so can't ask for much more than that. Now this is what you guys want to know, the pricing breakdown for the Alfa Romeo Tonale Veloce E all-wheel drive. So 2024 model year. Here in the States, we start off at a base price of $47,495 for the Veloce trim level. After the options that this currently have, well, we're at $56,640. So with that, let's talk about it, because the warranty is a little bit different, and we have a $1,595 destination charge. So that's not necessarily different. That adds to the price. But let's talk about this, because the warranty, yes, we know the 4 years, 50,000 miles for the basic and powertrain. But what we don't know and what's new is an 8-year or 100,000 mile hybrid system limited warranty, 8-year or 100,000 mile high voltage battery warranty. So for your hybrid system and battery, you have an 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty. In case you guys were wondering, roadside assistance, and you also have warranty details that will apply differently in zero emission states. So again, some new things down here for the warranty info. Also some new things for the fuel cost. $13.50 for your annual fuel cost, gasoline only here, and with gasoline and electricity, you're looking at that 77 miles per gallon or MPGE. So again, this is something new on these Alfa Romeo models that I have to point out for you guys when it comes to everything here. Now, let's talk about the options, because $56,000 is not necessarily the cheapest price, but this is the highest spec of the Tonales. So, what are we looking at here? We have our premium interior and sound package at $2,500. Perforated leather seats, ventilated front seats, driver's seat memory function, Harman Kardon premium audio, and that's it. That's $2,500. Then you're talking about active assist package, $1,850, which automatic dimming rear exterior mirrors, active driving assist systems, surround view camera, and park sense front, rear, and side. Now with that said, you also have the power moonroof, $1,200 for that option. And then the 20-inch Grigio 5-hole wheels, $2,000 with these all-season Michelin Pilot Sport 4s. Those are your options. Pretty good option list, but everything is $1,000 plus. So with that said, is it worth it for you guys for some of these things, or can you take a couple things off and save a little bit on your wallets? Now, this is everything that comes standard for $47,000. This Alpha White or Bianco is a standard paint color. You can see that there was no upcharge for that. And then everything else that you see here will come with the $47,000 price tag on the Veloce model. Remember, we start off at $42,000 for the Sprint and $44,000 for the TI. $47,000 is for the Veloce. And that is all your standard equipment. I'll go over this one more time. Make sure you guys pause it and take a look at everything we have here so you guys know for sure if the Veloce trim and everything it comes with is for you, or if you want to add a little bit more to it or take away. So, at a $56,000 price tag, what do you guys feel about the new Tonale? Are you guys loving it? And for the options, is it priced right for you and for Alfa Romeo USA in order for Alfa Romeo to sell these and for them to fly off the lot? That's the big question. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Now, if you guys did enjoy the video and want to help further support the channel, check the links down in the description below. I have a one-time link donation for my PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Patreon. Just in case you guys want to donate an extra $1, guys, I appreciate that extra love. Thank you so much. You guys can also check out the Ron's Rise merch and social media links down in the description below, and subscribe to the channel, but click the notification bell so you don't miss one video. With that said, you guys be blessed, have a great day, and we will see you guys in the next Ron's Rise video. Peace.